Well, good morning. It's Monday, 4/27, and Algebra 2, I hope you're doing okay, and that Alex went fine for you this week. Remember, you get stuck, just let me know. I'll try to make it short for you, the answers. Anyways, okay, so today, on Friday, we're going to do a quiz on exponents. So I thought it'd be a good thing to do a little refresher here on exponents. And so x squared times x to the 10th, those you're just going to take the 2 and the 10 and add them because that's how many x's there are that you are multiplying together. There's 12 of them. When you go down here and do this one, it's similar. You do 3 times 4 like you've always done it, which is 12. X to the 5th times x squared, you add those together, you get x to the 7th, and you're done. Okay, now with division, it's a little different. Division, I want you to see that x to the 5th really means x times x times x times x over x times x times x. And so if you, x divided by x is 1, x divided by x 1, x divided by 1. And so if you look at this, there's actually 2 x's left on top, which is x squared. So when they're positive, I like just to subtract them. It's a quick, short way. When you work with negatives, I'll show you a little different way. On this one here, 6 divided by 2 is 3 like it always has, Ben. Don't change that. Right here, this actually has a 1 on it. So when you go 3 minus 1, you're going to get x squared. And when you do 5 minus 4, you're going to get y to the 1st. You don't have to put the 1 there, but that's the answer on that one. So that's just a quick review of old stuff. Now this is the power to the power rule. And when you take something, a power to a power, you end up multiplying. And the reason is because x squared cubed really means x squared times x squared times x squared. So we're adding 2, 4, 6. We actually have 6 x's that we're multiplying together. We learned this up here. We just applied it to this one here. So 2 times 3 is 6. That's a shortcut. Now here we do negative 5 squared like we've always done it. Negative 5 times negative 5 is positive 25. X to the 4th squared, 4 times 2 is 8. And so we end up with x to the 8th. Okay, let's skip up to number 7. Now here we're looking at some negative exponents. And this is just a definition of them. X to the negative 3 means, as a positive exponent, 1 over x cubed. So if I want to get rid of the negative sign when it's in the numerator, as far as on the power, I move it to the bottom. If the negative is in the bottom, like over here, and I want to get rid of that, then I move it to the top. So you can see basically what happens, it just flips and changes the sign from negative to positive. Okay, so now let's go ahead and do one. The big thing in this is you don't want to have negative exponents in your answer. Now the negative 3 here, it only goes to the x. It does not go to the 2. So the 2 is going to stay right where it is. The x to the cube means 1 over x to the 3rd. 2 really means 2 over 1 if you want to see it like that. 2 times 1 is 2, and then that's over x cubed. And that would be the answer because it has a positive exponent. Now this one right here, the way I like to do it, you can subtract if you want to, but I would always make mistakes when I did that. So what I do is take 4 over 8 and change that to 1/2 like it always is. And I say, you know what? This really belongs on the bottom, x to the 5th. This one belongs on the top, x to the 3rd. This one belongs on the bottom. And this one's going to stay on the bottom. Okay, now I got all positive exponents. And so I end with 3 minus 5 is negative 2. So I end up with 1x to the negative 2. And these both on the bottom, so that's just y to the 12th. Now, that's the answer, but I can't have the negative in the numerator, and so I have to go one more step and write 1 over x squared y to the 12th. You do not have to do it that way. You could subtract to get the same answer, but just be really careful. Okay, here we're multiplying together, so we're using this and this together. So the first thing I want to do is what's here in parentheses. 2 to the 3rd is 8. X squared to the 3rd is x to the 6th. Y to the 5th to the 3rd is y to the 15th. Times 5 squared is 25. X to the negative 3 to the 2nd would be x to the negative 6. Y to the 4th to the 2nd would be y to the 8th. Okay, so then this would be equal to 8 times 25 is 200. X to the 6 times x to the negative 6 would be x to the 0, and x to the 0 is defined as 1, times y to the 15th times y to the 8th would be y to the 23rd. So the answer to this would be 200 y to the 23rd. And I'm done. Okay, another division one to look at, 3 over 12. That reduces to 1 over 4. You don't have to do a decimal for these, just reduce the fraction. Again, these x's are both positive. That's really a positive 1 right here. So I'm going to have to do that. 4 minus 1 is x cubed. And I'll do one where I subtract. So this would be negative 2 minus a minus 10, which would be plus 8. So y to the 8th would be up here. So you can see the subtraction is much faster. Just be really careful. Okay, this one down here, I just wanted to see what happens with the zeros. I would get, for this, I would get negative 3. X to the 0 is 1, so that's times 1. And then y to the 4th. And I'm going to multiply that by this to the 0 power. But this whole thing's to the 0, which means it's just going to be times 1. And so my answer is just going to be negative 3y to the 4th. And I'm done with that. So here's just a bunch of examples. You can watch this more than once. You could try them on your own. Just hit pause in the beginning and see if you can get the same answers I do. But it's just some extra practice for you so you can do better on your quiz on Friday. Have a great day.